Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is July 18th when I'm recording this. We do have OPEX coming up tomorrow, so you guys will probably see this Friday on OPEX. And I have a feeling that's part of why the market's doing what it's doing. There could be some news. Let's see. I think Obama and some other people are telling Joe Biden to step down. Joe Biden has COVID. So there could be a lot of things going on right now. But I want you guys to see a couple things. If you guys look at my X page, I've been talking about a few things. You know, the IWM, all this kind of stuff. It made history. It went up 4 days in a row vertically, okay? At some point, it's going to just, it's going to be too extended. It's going to be too high up. It's going to have to come down. It's a normal pullback, okay? This thing just went through the roof and ran into previous resistance from 2021, okay? So it's going to come back down. I also think that we could see the mega caps and some of the other stuff kind of take a breather because NVIDIA is up huge, SMCI is up huge. Like all these names just went up so far. Even the semiconductor index went up so far. It's probably time for them to take a breather. And I looked at this, and there's an example here. Meta, Apple, Netflix. Some of these names back in 2020 actually took a breather while the small caps started to run. So I think that this could also be part of the rotation. Now, if we get into showing you guys a couple things on the charts, if we look at the SPY, actually, let's just look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ was super, super high, okay? It's way, way, way up here. It needs to come back down. This is a normal thing. Now, the question is how far is it going to go down and how long is it going to last? That we don't know. But I look at that and I say, yeah, totally normal, okay? So as long as you're not in the wrong positions, then this shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I got a couple names that are getting wrecked, like AMD is not having a good time today because the tech is really getting hit like this. But then we're other names like Tesla. Tesla's still up. Now, I've reduced my positions in that, but it's doing fine. There could be a surprise because it has earnings coming up. But then we're also in something like, NU. And it's doing fine, So this is just going to be kind of the normal ebb and flows with this kind of stuff. We're in, say, GDX. And, it's still doing fine. It could pull back, but it's up there. Yeah, it's up there. Let it pull back. You guys have to remember, when things get extended, they pull back. And then they extended, they pull back. So some of what you're experiencing with your accounts or like, oh my God, this is, it's not going to work. It's all coming crashing back down. Well, again, it depends on where you got in. And I think you also need to kind of keep it in context that, it's normal. They run up and then they take a break. They run up and they take a break. Now, obviously, we would rather not have that. Maybe you don't want to sit through that. But if this is kind of normal pullback action, then we got to be okay with it. Just don't load up at the top. And you can see here of IWM. That's what I was talking about. Like, look, we had a huge move. It's a huge move. Let it come back down. They can't keep going up like this forever. Okay, so this is why we took off 3/4 of our position up there is because I was like, yeah, it's probably going to come down. Now, I think it's going to keep going higher over the course of time, but not right now. So let's let this thing come down. I don't know where it's going to come down. Maybe it comes down all the way to here before going up. That's a possibility. Look at Mara. I think this thing is going to go higher sometime into the future. Okay, I really do. But right now, just like the IWM, it was seriously overbought. It's way up here. Let it come down. Okay. I don't think it's a problem. Even if we look at the last time, we were here, we got it, it moved up, thought awesome, and then look at it, it pulled back. Now the pullback did make us negative. It put us underwater for a little bit, but I saw the bigger picture, and now look, we're making new highs. So if we panicked out of every time that we saw these really big pullbacks, again, depends on your situation, depends on where you got in, all that kind of stuff. But if we panicked every single time, then what we would be doing is we're missing these new highs. In fact, let me show you OUST. Now, this one's a little aggressive, but that's why I'm trying to show you guys this. If you got in here and then there was a pullback, yeah, that's pretty rough. That would be really, really hard to handle. But if you got in at a good spot, and if you panic out every time it gets too high, you're missing the overall trend. Now, if you want to be sharp about this, sure, maybe you can take a little bit off here, maybe you can add a little bit back. Take a little bit off, add a little bit back, and then you can trade it that way. But if you're in a decent position and you think this thing is going to keep going up, if you get in here, You don't want to panic out every time this thing pulls back, because really you're going to miss the bigger picture. Okay, so I know there's a lot going on out there. People are looking at this. They're probably giving some money back. It depends on where you got in on some of these things. Okay, and yeah, sometimes I get in thinking it's going to go and it pulls back on me. But if we think we're looking at the larger picture, you got to handle through some of these things, and the market has to do this. It just has. You have to let it come back down and do this kind of stuff. So anyway, I have a webinar coming up next week, very soon. We're going to be talking about this market, what we're seeing, big moves like this. I do think that there's going to be rotation in the small caps. I think there are better places to be and there are worse places to be, and we're going to be talking about that. So I'm going to show you guys some longer term setups, and I think that we should have a fairly good, exciting, hopefully year or more of this kind of action. We'll see. Maybe it'll only last a few months, but we're going to get it while it's hot. And you know, time is important. We can't expect the market to just go up every single day. All right, so we just have to be okay with this, guys. And yeah, look forward to the webinar. Start looking up for links. Make sure you guys have your alerts on, and that way you can see when I'm going to be talking about this stuff. Okay, see you soon. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.